Okay, the meeting is called to order for the special city council meeting, December 28th, 2021. Madam Clerk, pledge, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's January 28th.
I'm sorry,
2021.
yeah, January 28th, sorry.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Asbell,
Present.
Councilman Buddy is,
I can't hear.
okay, Councilman Buddy is present
I can
via
hear, muted.
Zoom. Councilman Chatelain,
Present.
Councilman Johnston,
Present.
Councilman Wheeler,
Present.
Mayor Boudier,
Present.
Police Chief Walker,
Here.
Fire Chief St. Cyr,
Present.
Finance Director Todd Tunion,
Present.
City Attorney Scott Stansberry, and Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee is present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Just to clarify, sorry, it is January 28th, not December the 28th. Just make sure we got that on record. Today, I found out and went to a funeral for a good friend of mine that passed away, and she has family here in Harahan, and her name was Miss Glenda Jatho, and she worked for Spacewalk, and I had a relationship with her with my business, and we were very good friends for years and years and years, and it was really hard for me today to go, see her and tell her goodbye. And I just think that sometimes we get so caught in the weeds and fray about arguing or fussing with one another that we forget how valuable life is and how short our time on the planet is. And I think that me and this council and this whole administration have worked so hard to always want to work together to move the city forward. We know we have people that that don't really always agree with us, but that really shouldn't stop us from moving all in the same direction. So I'd just like to take just a couple of minutes from Ms. Glenda Jatho, just so we can remember her and pray for her family. And I appreciate it. Thank you. I will always miss and love you, Ms. Glenda. So thank you very much for you guys for that. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance for approval, proposed ordinance number 2021-2. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbell and seconded by Councilman Chatelain. An ordinance amending ordinance number 1909, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021 for the Capital Project Fund of the City of Harahan, Louisiana for fire truck capital expense.
Okay, public hearing is now open. Anyone from the public like to comment on this ordinance, please raise your hand. Please use your raise hand icon on your computer if you are wanting to speak that way. We're not actually, so if we're zooming, okay. Well, anyone here want to come speak? All right, no one coming to speak. Public hearing is now closed.
Do we have any email comments?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we could see if you had any email comments.
Do we have any email comments? Okay.
Sir, we do not have any email comments.
Okay, with no email comments, public hearing is now closed. All right, council discussion.
So just so everyone's clear, I presented this ordinance on behalf of the fire chief. He asked me to do this for them. I did this after looking at the capital project fund and seeing that we've got some money in there to spend because we haven't spent a whole lot of that out of the past 2 years.
Thank you.
Fire truck, the fire department's been in need of a truck for quite some time now, and we're ready to move on it. And we're open for questions. I think the fire chief's got a couple of statements to make, perhaps, and he can take on from there if you don't mind, sir.
Todd, if you could just explain what Eric was talking about with the revenue and
Todd,
the expenditure. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Now?
Yes.
Perfect. So one of the questions from one of the council members was just to reference the line items that are in the proposed ordinance. The first line item is Capital Project Fund 341, 3113, account number 32253. That's to increase the revenue by 300,000. So that will increase the revenue in the capital project fund. and that's the revenue from the funds received from the parish.
Can you explain where that money's been sitting?
So it's been sitting in a bank account for the city, for the capital project fund, and it's on the trial balance or the ledger of the capital project fund, it's in deferred revenue. So it up until this point, or after today, it's been sitting on the balance sheet of the capital projects fund, and it's recognized as revenue as the funds are spent. So, that's the proper recording, and so when the funds are spent, we'll also recognize this 300,000 in revenue, within the capital project fund. And the 650,000 is an increase in the expense line item. So the net difference of 350,000 will be used or spent by existing fund balance and assets, cash within the capital project fund. So as Councilman Asbill mentioned, there's been limited capital project fund expenditures in the first 2 years. And so there's generally about 250 to 300,000 of the video poker money that gets transferred over each year. And so that's a few $100,000 over the 2 years that really was unspent over the last 2 years.
Thank you.
So just to be clear, at the end of last year, there was, and it's not finalized or audited, but there was approximate ending fund balance of capital for $723,000.
When you say last year, just to clarify.
Sorry, yeah, 2020.
2020.
The ending fund balance of 2020 was approximately $723,000. When we realize this increase in revenue, that's going to bring us up to over $1 million. And then we'll subtract 650 from that million, bringing us down to just over $400,000
Around
remaining
400.
if this ordinance passes.
Correct. And that would be, yes, that would be the fund balance as of the end of January, and then we would have the 250 or 300,000 of new money coming in for the
Throughout
rest
the
of
year.
2021.
Right.
Thank you.
Anyone else, or would y'all like the chief to?
Yeah, Chief, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I'd like the chief to explain
All right.
exactly what truck we're replacing, year, truck, all of this stuff, let them know why we're doing this. You explain to the citizens
Yes.
what we're going through.
Okay, so, first of all, thank y'all for conducting this, or letting us have this meeting in order to present this to you, and hopefully, with this passage tonight, we can move that to, a better day for Harahan and its fire trucks. We've been working, or we're about 4 years overdue, from when we had originally intended to replace the truck that was going to replace. I worked for about 1.5 years on other specifications, with another vendor. I've looked at many other trucks as far as demos. I've had several come out to the station. You know, price was a big deal to us, but quality is also a big deal to us. And it's the balance of both price and quality that we really had to kind of seek what's best for the city of Harahan and for our fire department, and that's really what the efforts have been. It didn't take us nearly as long to put this set of specifications together because we had done so much work on the previous specifications. We were able to answer questions real quickly and get through it and know exactly, we already knew what we want, so we just had to redo it with a different model. We're looking at a Pierce. The truck would be made in Wisconsin. Company's been around forever. They've built most of New Orleans fire trucks. If you go on New Orleans website, most of New Orleans fire trucks are all Pierce. Jefferson Parish used Pierce for many years. The last couple of trucks that they bought were Ferreras, and from what I understand, they're going back to Pierce. We have a Pierce in our station that we borrowed from Jefferson Parish. It's actually our favorite truck. The truck that we're replacing is a 1997. It is 24 years old. The company that we're dealing with wouldn't even take it as a trade-in because of its age. It wouldn't be worth refurbishing. We've had problems with the truck. 650. It wouldn't be worth refurbishing. It's time to replace. So I'll just read a little something that I presented in a packet that I respectfully submit. This packet containing specifications and documents for the purchase of a fire engine. This purchase will be made by use of the Lamar's contract number 17741 through Pierce Sid Martin Emergency Group. I am proud of the efforts put forth in order for the city of Harahan to receive a top-quality pumper that will serve us for many years to come. After several years of planning, reviewing specifications, and looking at demo pumpers, we have finalized our goal of balancing budget, quality, and functionality of our pumper selection. I'm confident that this selection is the best choice of the many options given. So what we're gonna get is a 2,000 gallon per minute, single stage pump. We're gonna be using the same type of pump that we've used in all of our previous fire trucks made by Waters. It's got a 450 horsepower Cummins diesel engine. And the specifications of the body and chassis all meet exactly what we were looking for. We're looking for more compartmentation. We're gonna purchase some rescue equipment that badly needs replacing that we have now. That equipment's over 40 years old. There's no replacement parts for them anymore.
Which is included in this.
Correct, correct. And that was our plans all along, was to do that at the same time as the truck. We are gonna try to keep our older equipment going for as long as we can, as long as, you know, it's functional. But we would have rescue equipment on 2 different trucks now, that would really serve us well, in an incident, So anyway, the truck compartmentation is sufficient to what we need. The amount of hose that it carries is sufficient to what we need. We're gonna have a medical compartment on this truck that we haven't had on others. We've kinda had medical compartments spread about the truck and rear, sitting in the rear, seats in the back, and this will have a specific place for us to keep our medical stuff, which you know we run more medicals than anything. Just everything about this truck we like. If this is approved, we would be taking a trip to Wisconsin to actually sit down with the engineers and finalize the final specifications to make sure that everything we want, they can in fact do exactly how we want it. They're gonna show us other things and show us their plan and how they built the trucks, and we'll run over every option just to make sure that all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed before we agree to say, hey, go ahead and build this truck. Once they start building, they're expecting to have the truck built within 9 to 10 months, at which time we would return to Wisconsin to view the truck, make sure that it meets the specifications. We would do some training on the truck there, as well as come back here and do training with everyone here. When we talk about training, it's not gonna be an extensive training because we don't need extensive training. We know how to use the truck, but there will be some features on this truck that we don't have on our older trucks that we'll have to bring the guys up to speed with how to use. This truck with the Impel, the chassis that we decided to go with, it's not their top of the line truck and it's not their bottom of the line truck. But with this truck, there are some features that come with it that kind of make it a smart truck in the way that the pump operates and the way that the truck can communicate with me as the chief as to any issues that are going on. And basically, you know, if you have a problem with your car and you bring it to the mechanic plugs a little thing into it and he says, oh, it's emissions. This is what it is and this is what we have to do. Well, this truck monitors constantly what's going on with the truck. And as it has an issue, it actually notifies me by email. So I don't have to wait for one of my firemen to check the trucks in the morning or just notice it while they're driving. If the truck notices there's a problem, it automatically notifies me. Of course, you know, there's a little bit of cost with that, but that actually comes standard with the Impel truck. So, I don't really know what else to say other than, you know, we've worked pretty hard on this and we're ready to move forward and we'd appreciate your support. And I'm happy to answer any questions y'all may have.
All right, I spoke with the chief a year ago when he was looking at other trucks. Some guy came in, brought some brochures, we went through other things. I had no clue what I was looking at. I'm not a fireman. I don't know much about fire trucks. Chief was really excited about them. Just to let the citizens understand why we're here tonight. Why is this a special meeting? This price came up. They've been looking at trucks. We stopped looking at trucks, and I know the old excuse for everything today is COVID. COVID stopped us from everything, and I'm tired of hearing the excuse. I'm going to go ahead and use it right now. So he looked at trucks a year ago, probably. We were in the process looking at all of this stuff. COVID hit, everything stopped. We moved forward with everything else in life. We received a price on this truck on January 12th. The same time we received the price, they basically told us if we don't have this deal signed by February 1st, it's going to cost 3% more. That's the reason we're here today. $18,000 is a lot of money for the city of Harahan. Do I feel like we're being rushed into this? Yes. Do I know we've been needing a fire truck for years? Yes. I'm prepared to vote on this tonight. I put all my faith in the chief on making this decision right here. I'm sure this is one of the largest purchases he's made, just because the cost of everything goes up. So I'm sure the other trucks he's purchased in the past has not been this expensive.
The ladder truck was a little bit less than.
Yeah. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the department. I hope this thing passes tonight. I'm nervous on why we rushed. But in the same note, it's because of the $18,000. We're buying the truck. It's just a matter of how long is it going to take before we get it. I'm glad we called the special meeting. I'm not very happy with the people representing Pierce. I'm not saying they're not doing their job. They told us up front that the price was going up. We basically called and asked, guys, can we extend this a few days so we could have this at our regular meeting? And we were basically told no. I've never seen someone do business that way. I mean, I get prices on material all the time. Even if material is going up, when I receive a price, it's good for 60 days. So I'm here today to let my fellow council members and everyone here know I am going to support this ordinance. I understand why people would be nervous and feel like it came pretty quick. Chief, I hope we got everything covered.
We'll be fine.
Councilman Johnson?
I'm good.
Councilman Whitaker?
Is it good?
You okay?
So here is my concern, and I don't think there's anybody that's sitting in here, or anybody in this city wants to see the fire department get their fire truck and anything else, and same thing goes for police, so I can't imagine anybody. What's unsettling for me, and I've made my point, is I'm with Councilman Chatelain. We get a quote on the 12th, it's gotta be done right here, right now, or you're gonna be penalized. I feel like it's rushed, I do. I'm not saying I don't want this to happen. Was there any other quotes outside of Pierce that you received just recently? I know you said you mentioned about the ones that were like the 700.
Councilman, we had worked on specs on another truck, but we never did, that truck would have had to have been bid because it wasn't on the Lamar's contract.
Okay.
So
So were
all
there
we
any
had
other-
was specifications and an indication of how much it would cost us. That's it.
He gave us verbals, nothing
Yeah,
in
he
writing.
gave us-
Right, exactly, and I think that was like the 7-figure or something, like
the
the 700,000
About
or
seven
whatever.
thirty,
Right.
735 in that neighborhood.
So is Pierce the only vendor on this that we have to use?
On
Lamar's.
Lamar's. I'm not sure what else is on
I
Lamar's.
don't think so.
Okay,
To be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't sit down and go through all the Lamar's contracts, but I know that they are one, which was,
it was just a little disheartening
What-
for me.
what-
Councilman Chatelain and I were on the phone with the salesman, and I truly felt for us to do our due diligence for the citizens, we're making a decision on probably the biggest, again, purchase that the city might see this year, or maybe even future years, and to come to us, what I feel in such a short amount, to basically bend us over a barrel and say, hey, if you purchase it, you save it, but if you don't, we're gonna charge you.
right.
That's just not what's settling with me.
Don't
That's all.
think that I don't feel
No,
the same discomfort. I don't, but it was what it was when we got the prices from them, and I felt it was my position to at least present that to you.
And I,
And I get how you feel. I apologize for that. And I don't personally have to rush with this truck because I've been waiting for 4 years.
no, and I get that. But then
Okay,
you can
I've been waiting
understand
for
where,
4
where,
years.
where we're at.
If I was to wait another 15 days, it wouldn't hurt me in the least.
But then the city gets charged 18,000.
city
So you
it
see what
costs
I'm
the
getting
city,
at?
so-
It puts us, this council, in a position.
And if I could have done anything about that, I would have.
No,
So
and
it puts us
and-
in a situation to where we're here to make a tough decision, and I'm gonna make a tough decision to save the city the
No,
18,000.
and
I am very glad that you did what you did, and that Councilman Chatelain did what he did, and reached out and said, hey, let's see if we can do something about this, and you made that phone call to them.
We most
And
certainly
didn't just
did.
rely on me, to see if there was something that maybe you as councilman
we
could
asked for an
do.
extension of time
And-
where we wouldn't have to have a special meeting. We even asked, can we just do it at our February? We threw out what I considered fair request, in my opinion.
Right,
But I just felt like I could have asked for anything and it wasn't gonna, and no matter what we said, in my opinion, it was no. It was no.
as
And I
a
just-
matter of principle, Councilman, I would love to be able to say, you know what, guys, stick that truck. Okay, I'm with you.
I felt the same
I'd
way.
love to say that, but the problem is that's not what would best serve Harahan, because, one, this is a good truck. It's a good company, it's a good reputable fire truck building company, and I think the quality that we're gonna get for the price that we're paying, that balance is there. It's exactly what we've been looking for.
And
You know,
the
we were
guy,
looking at-
the guy representing Pierce, Sid Martin Company or whatever that is, he broke away from our phone call. He contacted Pierce
He
and
did.
called us back.
Right,
He tried to.
yeah, no, I
You
know
know,
he did.
am I sitting there with him knowing he tried? No. I don't believe the guy was just lying to me.
Right.
I mean, he hung up, made some phone calls, called us back 30 minutes later, and he said they're not moving.
I had a conversation with him the following day, and I asked him exactly how that went, and he explained to me the same thing. He said that he called, I think it was Jeff or one of them, and there was just no way that they were gonna move on the fact that February 1st, they were going up 3%. And, you know, I wish,
I don't know, again, I just think it's like that used car salesman tactic. It's, you gotta buy it right here, right now, or we're gonna do this.
Right.
And I'm with you. You know what I wanted to say to this gentleman?
no, I get
Well, then
it.
maybe you don't deserve our business. There's other people that would take it with no problem.
And
I
then
mean,
we-
I thought our request,
I feel a
were
lot
fair.
like that, and it would then put us in the position that we've been in for some time of still trying to get to the end goal. And here's what my main goal is to have a quality fire truck that the city of Harahan can afford and pay for that protects the men of my department. Because right now, they don't have the confidence in the truck that their hose lines are coming off of that are gonna protect them in that time of need. And that's why I'm ready to get this truck in the station for those guys. And so for that, if we have to move 15 days sooner than we wanted to, if we can make that happen, great. If
Right.
not, then I would come back proposing the same truck for $18,000 more, because I think it would still be worth it for us.
right. And I don't want any of you or your firemen to
I don't
think
think
that,
anyone feels shunned or upset.
please don't. It's,
Councilman Wheeler, we've been doing this a real long time. We've faced many a councilman and mayor, and we understand the process.
Also to go with state contract part, because the company I work for, we do a lot of, with the state, where we have state contracts for different stuff. And with the state, it actually is for a certain date. So theirs probably ends at the end of this month, and so they can't extend that extra, because that's what the state actually has.
Right, so Todd spent some time on the phone with the Lamas administrator at the state, and he's got, you gotta share that information you have.
Yeah, just to clarify some of that information. So we did look at the state contract, which is available online. And on that, there's kind of the state of Louisiana's purchasing agent is identified on that contract. And this contract actually runs through some date in 2021. So it does not end on February 1st or January 31st. But from conversation with the person responsible who oversees this contract for the state, this contract has provisions in it that tie it to the federal GSA.
Right, right, yeah.
Federal contracts.
Right, correct.
And the CPI adjustments.
Right.
And so that's the only basis that I would know for them to have an increase.
Gotcha.
We also, just to confirm that, even though we spoke to the purchasing agent who told us that, I made a phone call to the legislative auditor just to confirm that seemed reasonable to their office, and they agreed that they have seen that in similar
Right.
contracts.
Yeah, when the
as well.
GSA changes, it
Correct.
automatically changes the state contract,
Correct.
yeah. Mm.
Correct.
Gotcha, thank you.
All right, Councilman Buddy, would you like to say something?
I understand the timeline. I don't have a problem with doing this on an expedited basis and voting on it tonight to save the money. I do have some purchase agreement questions that could be negotiated tomorrow, possibly. But as far as the decision to vote on the ordinance, if I were present and could vote tonight, I would. I've been advised that I am not able to vote, so I will not be voting for or against. But if I could, I would vote tonight to purchase or to allow the mayor to go forward with purchasing if he sees fit. Because this council meeting and this ordinance doesn't really authorize contract for the purchase. It allows the mayor to move forward with it if he sees fit, I think. And under that circumstances, I give the mayor the authority tonight by voting yes on this ordinance to move forward as he sees fit.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If there's no further discussion or.
I'd like to just say a
add
few
two
words.
amendments, but,
Okay.
okay.
You want to go ahead? No?
You-
All right, so when I was a councilman 3 years ago, we worked really hard to get support for the police department, and we were able to get a millage on a ballot to help the police department, the police department get where they needed to be. And after that millage, I met with Chief St. Cyr, and I told him, him and I both felt like the fire department had been forgotten about for far too long, or was a reason always why the funding wasn't available to bring these guys up to date as far as pay and equipment, building, and so forth. And and I vowed to the chief that I would not forget this fire department, that we will work hard, we will get it to where it needs to be. And I think this is, after the pay raise that I was able to get you guys early in my administration as mayor, this is just a second step of the way. And we do have a dream of getting an EOC. That is something that we're working on right at the moment. And it is a pie in the sky dream, but we got you guys a raise and a new fire truck, so let's get an EOC too. And so this is awesome. It's incredible. I get to be a man of my word and get to do something great for the city. And if this is the last thing I get to do, wow, what a badge of honor,
Mayor, if this is the last thing you get to do for the fire department, you and I are gonna have issues.
Well, I just want to say, congratulations to the fire department. You guys deserve it.
We most certainly appreciate your support. You have been there and worked really hard with us.
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to continuing moving in the right direction.
Yes, sir. Okay,
I
Council.
do have a question, Chief.
Yes, sir.
The hoses that are gonna go on this truck, is the hoses off of the old truck?
No.
All new hoses?
All we know is our frontline equipment, we're actually in the process, we received delivery of that hose at the end of last year, mid to end of last year. And, I kept it boxed up until the first, and then we started testing it. And, it's actually on the rack now. We're gonna finish testing it and be ready to go on the truck. All of our frontline hose will be all brand new hose.
So you saying the hose we have now, the new hose we have now, that's what's gonna go on this truck?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm just making sure, because I knew we just got new hose, so I wanna make sure, is that hose going to this truck? Is
Oh,
that hose,
absolutely.
where's it going? Thank you.
All right, Councilman Asbill.
I have a motion for two amendments. I'll take them one at a time. The first motion is to add a note under the line items that says, note, the capital project fund balance is in excess of $350,000, and the total capital project fund balance will be decreased by that amount. You should have a red line version of it. So I move that amendment.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Councilman
Second.
Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain. Oh, I'm sorry, yep, we'll open up the amendment for discussion to public hearing. Anyone like to come forth and speak? Okay, no one coming forth to speak. Public hearing is now closed. So we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain to What was that, one more time, Councilman? Oh, note the capital project fund balance is an excess cost of $350, and the total of campaign project fund balance will be decreased by that amount, okay?
Reread that.
Capital project,
Reread that.
not campaign.
You know where my mind's at, right?
The capital fund project balance is in excess of $350,000, and the total capital fund project fund balance will be decreased by that amount. And this is just to clarify that this is not a deficit spending measure, that we do have the money in the bank for it.
But when your campaign fund gets that big, we don't forget that.
Okay, all in favor?
Yay.
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 All right, 4 yeas, 1 absent. Amendment passes. Okay, second amendment,
Also
Councilman?
have a second amendment, and this just clarifies, for future reference, why this project was not put out for bid. And so it reads, section 2 is supplementing, or substituting the former section 2. These funds shall be expended in accordance with Division of Administration, State of Louisiana, Moss Contract 4400017741, Pierce Manufacturing Incorporated via Siddons Martin's Emergency Group, and therefore public bid is not required. And
Okay.
then renumbering the sections as appropriate.
I'll second that.
Okay, second by Councilman Chatterley. We'll now open the public hearing. Okay, no one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatterley to amend section 2. All in favor?
Yay.
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 4 yeas, 1 absent. Motion passes.
Move to adopt as amended.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to adopt proposed ordinance 2021-2. And we have a second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
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 4 yeas, 1 absent. Motion passes. Congratulations.
That's the amendments.
Oh, that was the amendment?
No, that was.
That was the ordinance.
voting on the
Oh, I
ordinance.
thought we said we do it, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Did we do?
I think you did.
No.
So real quick, just before we go on, just
Do
to
we
kind of
wanna
read.
revote?
Huh?
Can we revote?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'd like to think for the rest of my life that we do.
I thought we were doing it when you said renumber. Maybe we should. That's okay.
Mr. Mayor, as a matter of point of order, I guess, point of
Point of
procedure.
personal privilege?
Procedure, there was some confusion on what the vote was, so I'm going to remove the motion. I move to adopt the ordinance as amended.
Okay, I move to adopt the ordinance as amended, ordinance 2021-2. A motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain. Now we're voting on the ordinance, correct, as amended.
As amended, yes.
All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
4 yeas, 1 absence. Thank you very much. Sorry for the confusion there.
And if you don't mind, before we end this, if I can say thank you to the council and the mayor. It's a proud day for the fire department. We appreciate, even despite some of the things that we had to deal with and how we got here, we just appreciate you standing behind us anyway. All right, thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Can we ride on the new fire truck?
Oh, yeah, I want to drop that thing.
He can't drive it. He can't drive it.
I want to try to go in reverse.
You may not drop it in reverse, you may drop it forward.
There was a move to executive session?
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. We have a motion.
Address the council. first,
Address the
then.
council
Oh, yeah,
first, I don't think.
Okay.
Sure. Move, okay.
Okay, Madam
Anyone
Clerk,
like
so
to
we'll now go
address
to
the
address the
council?
council. Okay, no one coming forth to.
But
Okay,
is there
good.
emails?
Oh, wait, it's okay.
Oh, there you go.
Lee Brown, Harahan Fire Department, I just want to thank you guys. This means a lot to all of us. This is something we've needed for a long time.
Bless you.
This is a huge step forward. Need to make a little more steps forward, but we appreciate this tremendously. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go to.
All right, executive
Executive session.
session. The city council will enter into executive session to consider all pending litigation involving the city of Harahan.
Do we have to, I think we have to list it. I think we have to list it. I think we have to say it out.
It's,
So now we will
all-
now retire into
there's-
executive session.
Wait.
There's 7
You've
cases.
got to read the case.
Okay.
Case number 1, Wood Materials, LLC, Wood Resources LLC versus City of Harahan, 24th JDC, case number 761-783, Division K. Number 2 is Gulf Coast Underground versus City of Harahan, 24th JDC, docket number 801-282, Division J. Number 3, Michael Wright versus City of Harahan, ETAL. U.S. District Court, Civil Action Number 19-13529, Section F5. Number 4, Mary Erler versus City of Harahan and Veolia Corporation and ABC Insurance Company, 24 JDC, case number 757-888, Division F. Case number 5, Ronald Lightel versus Harahan Police Department and City of Harahan, Civil Action Number 20-CV-672. Number 6, Brandon J. Venegas versus Harahan Police Department and City of Harahan, 24 JDC, case number 802-181, Division K. And number 7, David G. Trepanier versus the Harahan City Council, 24 JDC, case number 814-065, Division L.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain to move to executive session. All in favor?
Yay.
Yep, 4 yeas, 1 absent. We're now going to executive session. Okay, the meeting is called to order 7:03. No action was taken during executive session. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
4 yeas, 1 absent, 1 absent. We are adjourned. Thank you. Good night.